Hey guys, well, I thought I would get out here real quick and shoot a quick video. Combine really gets going tomorrow in terms of drills and whatnot, but there is some news coming out today, so I thought I would just jump on, do a short video, catch you guys up if you're at work or whatnot. I'm going to try to cut this into a podcast as well, so if you need to download, you can. I'm trying to be better about that for you Patreon folks in particular. And at any rate, the big news, breaking news today, Jason Witten's coming back to the Cowboys. That's big for the Packers as well, because for a couple of reasons. One being, as you know, even though the schedule hasn't come out yet, the Dallas Cowboys are on the list of Packers 2019 opponents. I believe we play them at home. Actually, I think we play them away. So that is big news. At least for one game of the season, it's going to matter. Jason Witten, I guess the second most prolific tight end ever in the league in terms of catch count. That will affect not just Dallas immediately, but also for the draft now. They were probably going to have to look at a tight end, and now they're going to have an immediate starter back and a guy with and more experience at the tight end position. So not major for us, but some minor news, and it does have an effect on the Green Bay Packers. Witten is from just down the road here, by the way. If I were to turn right up ahead and just keep walking, I'd come to his hometown in about 5 miles. And decided to get back out of the booth. He said, he released a statement and said that his passion and competitiveness just had him wanting to be back on the field. In the background, by the way, not that you, maybe you don't want to hear this, but those high winds that we've had and all the rain, there's been tons of tree damage. The soil is so loose and soft. The cleanup has been going on the last couple of days, and so anyway, that's the situation here. I'm going to grab, if I've got it here, my little sheet of paper, my little cheat sheet, because with news coming out, Opeta, the linemen have been doing their bench press, which if you watch my stuff, I'm not real high on the bench press as anything more than a minor reference point between players, maybe a tiebreaker, but not really, maybe in conjunction with some other things, a tiebreaker, because I think it's a poor measure of a football player. But Opeta bench pressed 39 times. He almost hit 40 reps in the bench at 225. For reference sake, Dalton Risner, so you may not be real familiar with Opeta, but Dalton Risner got 23, which is perfectly respectable. 39 is off the charts. So that's about all that's going on right now. Also, Kyler Murray came in. This is important news as well. Kyler Murray came in and weighed in. He weighed in at 207. Some people were thinking he was a 190-pound quarterback. He came in weighing at 207, which could be good or bad, depending on what type of weight that is, body composition-wise. He will not run. He will not do any of the drills. He's not going to throw. But he also came in at 5'10" and an eighth, height-wise. Now, this is important because the Packers, not necessarily looking for a quarterback, but we are looking for as many quarterbacks as possible to go out before we pick at 12. And I think this may put some teams at ease. And then, of course, his pro day is going to be super important now for Kyler Murray. This is a guy, I don't know, I think I may have forgotten. I hate this, but I talked about Kyler Murray the other day in a YouTube video. It was a live video. That's why I didn't post it to Patreon. That's why. So at least I had a reason. I don't know how to rip those videos. Actually, I do know how to rip those videos. I'll start doing that for you guys. It's rare that I do ripped live videos because they don't play out as well as the produced ones. But Kyler Murray, I talked about him. Number one, you guys know the draft matrix that I've been working on. you've hopefully had a chance to see it. Murray is a guy that has floated to the top of my board time and time again. Enough, I mean, I don't even have to look at the chart to know he's been there. And while I'm not a quarterback guy, he is the one guy I would not mind the Packers bringing on and using him right now as an athlete. He's not going to run, but this guy is fast. He can throw the ball. He's an electrifying athlete. And he's what, an eighth of an inch shorter, or 3/4 of an inch shorter than Russell Wilson. His hands measured 9.5 inches, which is perfectly fine. All the comparisons out there to Baker Mayfield, I think right now from last year. But this is interesting. I don't know. I haven't even had time really to mull it over, but I have had my eye on Murray for a while, which is kind of bizarre. And it has a lot to do, I think, with Taysom Hill, what we went through with Taysom Hill. I thought it was a mistake to try to hide him on the practice squad. For once in my life, I was right about something because that really, I think, showed to be the case. He was a valuable asset for the Saints as it stands. And then also could either, if Aaron Rodgers continues to another contract, be trade bait, very high quality trade bait, or so my phone decided to do a little weirdness, so there's a jump cut in there, but Kyler Murray weighing in 207, 5'10 and an eighth, 9.5 inch hands, probably did everything he needed to do, and that's probably why he's not doing any of the other testing. His pro day, though, becomes more important because people want those measurables, and they're going to get a chance to. I do believe he is meeting with people, but those 15-minute meetings, they can get a chance to think about talk to him and get a read on his leadership. First impression, not a whole lot more, but and whether it plays in to the Packers draft when all is said and done still remains to be seen. But I just did want to say I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. However, I think with his height and weight coming in as it was, if he performs well and he's still fast, this guy can be a top 10 guy, which means yet another player pushed down to Green Bay at 12, if that's the case. Again, Bucky Brooks had 3 of them going out, and I believe they were all in the top 10. I had the question come in today asking what I thought about trading with the Jets, moving up to the 3rd pick in a trade with the Jets, and ran the numbers on that as well. So I thought you might be interested in that. With a 1,200 point number 12 pick, 30 coming in at 620 points, we wouldn't be able with those 2 picks to reach the 3rd pick. That's a value of 2,200. And again, those values, they're a little bit gray when the rubber meets the road. And if you're looking at a number 3 pick, and like the Jets are, they're going to be able to get their even higher value, I would think, out of that pick. So the Packers then would have to, at worst, throw in, if I remember right, a 4th rounder to get the value in the window. I am not at all for that. That's just too much for what I would expect would be one elite pass rusher. If we pick at 12, we pick at 30, we should be able to not only get blue chip players, but get 2 of them for the price of 1, basically. Now the Packers have picks to parlay. They've got 10 total. We've got 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 7. So a total of 10. And but I just don't see it. The value to my mind is just not there. It's not a good trade in my estimation. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Murray. I'm interested in that discussion. All of us in Packer Nation saw what Taysom Hill was able to do, and he was also a good quarterback. That's the thing. And this would be a top quarterback prospect but a guy that you can use on the field right now. And one of the conversations we had on the YouTube live video was, how would Aaron Rodgers respond to that? And I think, number one, he's a professional. You deal with, you play the cards you're dealt. But I am not sure on that one. I think that the overblown notion that Aaron Rodgers is a bad teammate or is hard to coach or anything like that, I think that's a bunch of hooey balooey. However, having another quarterback that's drafted and B, one of that caliber, one that's expected to be a starter, an instant starter, very interesting. And then, the prospect, if you draft that high, you got to use that player. This is a guy that you have to find a way to get him involved in the offense. And yet he's more valuable than Taysom Hill, I think, in the sense that Taysom Hill goes out and runs on special teams. That's not an option in this case. So a little intrigue for me. I thought you guys might be interested in some of this. I wanted to get you updated in case you weren't able to, get to your phone.
Packer Nation worldwide.